Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, the end times unveiled. In a world clouded by confusion, where truth is often buried beneath layers of misinformation, few topics stir the soul like the mysteries of the end times. Whispers of an awaited leader, shadows of a deceiver, and prophecies that span centuries. What the signs are closer than we think. Who is Al-Mahdi, the man foretold to rise in an age of chaos and lead the Ummah back to justice? And who is Ad-Dajjal, the greatest deceiver, whose tricks will shake the faith of even the strongest believers? For centuries, these names have echoed in Islamic tradition, yet their meanings remain clouded, misunderstood, oversimplified, sometimes deliberately hidden. Are we prepared to uncover what has long been veiled? In this video, we'll peel back the layers of history, hadith, and spiritual insight to reveal the hidden secrets of Al-Mahdi's emergence and the dark rise of Dajjal. This is not just a tale of future events. It's a wake-up call for our time. So stay with us and discover what scholars fear to say aloud and what generations have long waited to unfold. The truth may be more shocking than fiction. Underscore before we start. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and activate the bell so you don't miss a thing. Share this video with your loved ones, as this knowledge can literally change a life. The rise of Al-Mahdi, the awaited savior. Throughout history, every oppressed soul has longed for justice, for a leader who brings light into darkness. In Islamic eschatology, that leader is known as Al-Mahdi, the guided one. His name is not a myth or mere legend. His story is deeply rooted in the prophetic tradition. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Even if there remains only one day before the end of the world, Allah will prolong that day until he send a man from my family whose name will be like mine, and whose father's name will be like my father's name." Abu Dawud 4282. Al-Mahdi's full name will be Muhammad ibn Abdullah, mirroring the name of the Prophet. He will be from the lineage of Fatima, the beloved daughter of the Prophet, and from the tribe of Quraysh. This is not a coincidence. It is divine continuity, a revival of prophetic light in the darkest of times. But when does he come? The signs are clear. Before Al-Mahdi appears, the world will be immersed in widespread injustice, tyranny, and endless wars. Muslim lands will be divided, leaders corrupt, and believers oppressed. Chaos will be the norm. Unity will seem impossible. It is in this climate of desperation and spiritual decay that Al-Mahdi will emerge as a beacon of hope. According to authentic narrations, he will not seek leadership or fame. He will be reluctantly given the pledge of allegiance by the people of Mecca at the Kaaba. He will be a man of humility, not a political figure, but a divinely guided leader sent to restore the original purity of Islam. However, not all that shines is gold. Many false Mahdis have risen throughout history, individuals who manipulated the prophecy for power. Some were mere deluded fanatics, others strategic deceivers. And in today's world of media illusion and spiritual confusion, the danger of false Mahdis is greater than ever. That's why the Prophet provided specific signs. He will fill the earth with justice after it has been filled with oppression. He will rule for 7 or 9 years. He will lead the Muslim Ummah into victory after years of humiliation. He will be supported by divine aid and miracles. But Al-Mahdi's role is not only political, it's spiritual. His arrival is a symbol of a cosmic shift, a reminder that even when evil seems to dominate, Allah's plan is unfolding. He is the bridge between the age of darkness and the age of light that begins with the descent of Prophet Isa. The rise of Al-Mahdi is not a fairy tale. It's a call to prepare spiritually, mentally, and communally. The signs are unfolding. The stage is being set. And only those who recognize truth will be ready to follow the guided one. Global chaos before his arrival. Before the arrival of Al-Mahdi, the world will be plunged into unprecedented turmoil. A storm of confusion, injustice, and suffering will sweep across the globe, signaling the breaking point of human arrogance and spiritual decay. The Prophet Muhammad described this era clearly. You will see great confusion. People will be divided. There will be much killing, and trials will follow one another like the pieces of a dark night. Sahih Muslim. Wars will erupt, not just between nations, but within them. Civil wars, factional violence, brother turning against brother. Blood will flow without reason, and life will lose its sanctity. The Prophet warned of a time when the killer will not know why he killed, and the one killed will not know why he was killed. Sahih Muslim. Corruption will be widespread, not only in politics but morality, religion, and economics. Wealth will be hoarded by the few. The poor will suffer. Justice will be bought and sold. Leaders will be the worst of people, liars, tyrants, and traitors. The oppressed will cry out, and the world will seem deaf to their pain. Economies will collapse under the weight of greed and mismanagement. Currencies will lose value. Trade will be unstable. Hunger and poverty will rise, even as luxury surrounds the elite. Natural disasters will increase in frequency and intensity. Earthquakes, floods, famine, and plagues will afflict both the innocent and the guilty. These are not just random events, but divine warnings. Spiritually, the Ummah will be fractured. The Quran will be recited, but not acted upon. Mosques will be full, yet hearts will be empty. The Prophet described a time when Islam would remain in name only, like the fading embroidery of an old cloth. This global chaos will bring psychological despair. People will feel lost, hopeless, afraid. Trust will vanish. Faith will be tested. It is in this abyss of confusion that the world will cry out for a savior and Al-Mahdi will rise. His emergence is not sudden. It is a divine answer to a world that has lost its way. The hidden trials, Dajjal's deception. Among the most terrifying and complex figures in Islamic eschatology is Ad-Dajjal, the great deceiver. Often referred to as the Antichrist, Dajjal is not merely a tyrant or a false prophet. He is the embodiment of deception, the ultimate test for humanity before the end of time. The Prophet Muhammad said, "There is no tribulation on the face of the earth since Allah created Adam's progeny greater than that of the Dajjal." Muslim 29:33. But who is Dajjal? He will be a man from the children of Adam, born to human parents, but granted deceptive powers beyond human comprehension. He will appear at a time of global chaos, filling the vacuum left by despair and disunity. Claiming first to be a reformer, then a prophet, and finally, claiming divinity. He will demand worship from mankind. What makes him so dangerous is not brute force, but his ability to manipulate perception. The prophet warned that Dajjal would have with him what appears to be paradise and hellfire, but his paradise will be a furnace, and his hellfire will be a paradise. Sahih Muslim. Many scholars today interpret this as Dajjal's mastery over illusion. In a world driven by technology, digital realities, and global media, Dajjal may use hyper-advanced systems, AI, and psychological manipulation to control minds. He will raise the dead or appear to. He will heal the sick, command the sky to rain, and make the earth grow crops. But all of it will be illusion, temporary, and rooted in falsehood. The prophet described him as one-eyed, with the word disbeliever written between his eyes. Bukhari 71:31. This isn't only a physical description. It's deeply symbolic. His one eye symbolizes a distorted worldview, focused only on material, ignoring the spiritual. And the word kafir written on his forehead represents the blatant rejection of truth, visible to believers but hidden from those spiritually blind. But how will he convince so many? Because Dajjal will exploit human fear and desire. He will control food and water. He will offer safety, comfort, and power to those who follow him, and death or starvation to those who resist. In a world already stripped of truth, his lies will seem like salvation. Only those with true faith and knowledge will see through his deception. The Prophet taught us to memorize the first 10 verses of Surah Al-Kahf as protection from his fitna. Muslim 809. Surah Al-Kahf itself speaks of themes like you standing up for truth, the illusion of wealth, knowledge versus arrogance, all spiritual shields against Dajjal's traps. But make no mistake, many scholars, leaders, and even people of knowledge will fall into his trap. Only the most sincere, those grounded in the Quran and Sunnah, will survive this trial. Dajjal's emergence is not fantasy. It is a divine test, and it will separate the true from the false, the firm from shaky. He will walk the earth, city by city, except for Mecca and Medina, where angels will guard the gates. Those cities will be protected, but many hearts will not be. The time of Dajjal will be the ultimate crisis of faith. But within it lies a chance for ultimate reward if we prepare. And as the world falls into his trap, a divine force will rise to confront him. The clash between truth and falsehood. As the darkness of Dajjal spreads across the world, consuming hearts and minds with deception and desire, a resistance begins to rise, not built on weapons or wealth, but on truth, faith, and divine guidance. At the center of this resistance stands Al-Mahdi, the rightly guided leader chosen by Allah. With him will be a growing army of believers, ordinary men and women whose faith burns bright in the shadows of global falsehood. They will stand not for power or politics, but for truth. This is not just a physical war. It is a spiritual battlefield, a clash between light and darkness, faith and doubt, truth and illusion. As Dajjal dazzles the world with miracles and material ease, Al-Mahdi's followers will rely solely on prayer, patience, and divine trust. They will be few but firm, shielded not by armor, but by the strength of their Iman, faith. The Prophet said, "There will be no place on earth which the Dajjal will not enter, except Mecca and Medina." Bukhari, 1881. And from these protected lands, the banner of resistance will rise. The Ummah's unity will be tested. Sectarianism, nationalism, and ego must be abandoned. Only those who cling to the Quran and the Sunnah, regardless of background, will be truly guided. This is the moment where the Ummah must unite, or risk falling under the weight of Dajjal's fitnah. In the midst of this global chaos, at the peak of tension, something extraordinary will occur. From the heavens, Prophet Isa, Jesus, will descend, just as foretold in numerous authentic hadiths. He will descend near a white minaret in Damascus, wearing 2 garments dyed with saffron, his hands resting on the wings of 2 angels. Muslim 293. He will not return as a new prophet, but as a follower of Al-Mahdi, affirming the finality of the Prophet Muhammad and upholding Islam. It is Isa who will ultimately confront Dajjal, tracking him down and killing him at the gates of Lud, modern-day Israel. With Dajjal's death, the greatest deception in human history will finally end. The clash between truth and falsehood will not be won through numbers or technology, but through purity of faith, steadfast hearts, and divine will. We are not just hearing a prophecy. We are witnessing a warning. The question is, when the sides are drawn, where will you stand? Prophet Isa's role in the fall of Dajjal. In the darkest hour of human history, when deception has consumed the earth and the faithful are under siege, the skies will open and a moment long foretold will unfold. Prophet Isa, Jesus, will return not as a new messenger, but as a sign of the final truth. The Prophet Muhammad said, "By the one in whose hand is my soul, soon the Son of Mary will descend among you." Bukhari, 3448. He will descend near a white minaret in Damascus, with his hands resting on the wings of 2 angels, clothed in garments stained with saffron. As he descends, his head bowed in humility, droplets will fall from his hair as if he had just emerged from ablution. His return is not symbolic. It is literal, a divine promise echoing through the centuries. Upon arrival, Isa will join ranks with Al-Mahdi, not to lead a new religion, but to affirm the truth of Islam and the finality of Prophet Muhammad. His mission will be clear: to dismantle falsehood, expose corruption, and purify belief. He will break the cross, a symbolic rejection of false theology. He will kill the swine, a sign of cleansing religious innovation and distortion. And he will abolish the jizya, because no faith will remain but Islam. But most critically, he will confront Ad-Dajjal. In a divine confrontation, Isa will chase Dajjal until he corners him at Bab al-Lud, a gate in present-day Israel. As Dajjal sees him, he will begin to melt like salt dissolving in water. Prophet Isa will strike him down with a single blow, and the greatest fitna the world has ever known. Muslim 2937. With Dajjal gone, a new era will begin. Peace will spread. Justice will reign. Hatred and division will vanish. Prophet Isa will rule with wisdom and fairness, breaking the chains of global oppression and guiding humanity with mercy. The earth will yield its blessings, the skies will pour rain, and hearts will be filled with contentment. Wolves will live with sheep. Swords will be turned into plowshares. This is not mythology. This is not allegory. These are authentic, prophetic truths narrated by the most trusted companions, preserved in the most authentic books of hadith. Belief in the return of Isa is a pillar of Islamic eschatology, a divine reality waiting to unfold. The story is not over, but the tide is turning. The secret signs: are we closer than we think? The question that echoes in every heart. Are we nearing the final hour? The answer may be closer than we dare to believe. The Prophet Muhammad outlined over 80 minor signs that would precede the major event of the end times, and today, many have already unfolded, often in silence. Widespread corruption and dishonesty, normalization of immorality and shamelessness, leaders chosen from the worst among people, tall buildings competing in height, people cutting ties with their families, knowledge increasing but true understanding decreasing, widespread killing and senseless violence. Each of these signs, foretold over 1,400 years ago, is now part of our daily headlines. Scholars like Ibn Hajar, Imam Nawawi, and Sheikh al-Albani have confirmed the authenticity of these narrations, warning that once the minor signs accumulate, the major ones follow swiftly, like beads falling from a broken string. Even the drying of the Sea of Galilee, the decline of sincere scholarship, and the invasion of Muslim lands are seen by many as clear fulfillments of prophetic warnings. Yet despite all this, the world moves on distracted, divided, asleep. This is the true danger, not that the signs haven't appeared, but that we become numb to them. Spiritual blindness is the Dajjal's greatest weapon. The Prophet warned us not simply to watch for the signs, but to prepare our hearts. The urgency is not to predict the hour, but to protect our iman, strengthen our connection with Allah, and stand firm in a time when truth is attacked from all sides. This is a wake-up call, not for fear, but for faith, not for panic, but for preparation. Because when the final signs begin, they will unfold rapidly. A call to wake up. We have walked through the signs, the prophecies, and the painful truths of what is unfolding in our world. From the chaos before Al-Mahdi, to the deception of Dajjal, to the blessed return of Isa, each moment described is not fantasy. It is not distant. It is real, near, and fast approaching. But the greatest tragedy is not that these signs are happening. The real tragedy is how many of us are ignoring them. We scroll, we sleep, we entertain ourselves into spiritual numbness, while the world crumbles under the weight of injustice, falsehood, and forgetfulness. The Prophet Muhammad didn't share these signs to scare us. He shared them to wake us up, to prepare us, not just physically, but deep in our hearts. Because when that time comes, your wealth won't save you. Your titles, your status, your distractions, none of it will matter. What will matter is the condition of your soul, the strength of your faith, and whether you stood firm when the truth was tested. The Prophet said, "Hasten to do good deeds before the tribulations come like pieces of a dark night." Muslim 118. This is not a call to paranoia. It is a call to action. Return to the Quran, not just as words, but as a living guide. Return to the Sunnah, not just in rituals, but in character, mercy, and strength. Protect your prayers. Purify your intentions. Build your relationship with Allah before the test becomes too great. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, remember this. The Prophet gave us hope even in the darkest fitna. He said, "Whoever memorizes the first 10 verses of Surah Al-Kahf will be protected from Dajjal." Muslim 809. You are not helpless. You are not alone. But you must choose. Don't wait until the signs are no longer signs, but consequences. Don't wait until the hour has come. By then, the door will be closed. Ya Allah, awaken our hearts before it is too late. Guide us through this age of confusion. Make us among those who recognize truth and follow it. Protect us from the fitna of Dajjal. And let us stand firm with Al-Mahdi and Isa when the time comes. This is your moment to rise before the final hour. ___ if you like this video and want to learn more about good ways to communicate with respect and kindness. Then, like this video to support the message. Subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Share this video with your loved ones so that together we can spread more kindness. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Tell me in comments what question has ever made you uncomfortable and how you'd like people to communicate with you. See you soon for a new video.